Hey guys, it's Freeze here back with another video, and in this video we are going to be turning this Bentley into a drift car. And I know it's kind of odd because it's an older Bentley, but let's see what happens. So, let's just take a look at this thing a little bit. Let's open up the hood. And these cars are pretty interesting. I like the older cars. Well, I used to, not as much anymore, but I still find them fascinating because they built cars differently back in the day. This Bentley is very luxurious, as you can see. See, the motor has lots of detail. Oh, you can actually go in and take a look at the whole motor. Wow. This thing's extremely detailed. If I hide the UI, it's like you're looking at the actual thing. See all the scratches on the engine block and everything. Wow, that's insane. Anyways, let's take a look at the other components of the car. Let's close the hood, and we are going to close the trunk, or as they say, the boot in the UK, because this thing is a Bentley, it is from the UK. Are we able to get into the back seats? Yes, we are. So that's pretty cool. Look at, you have the trays and stuff. That's odd though, they don't have ashtrays. Or maybe that's what those are, I'm not sure. But anyways, it's more of like a couch in the back. As you can see with the buttons, well, those are the umbrellas, I think, that come out of there. But I could be wrong. It's still cool though. This car's amazing. Let's see, we'll get into the passenger seat, and we'll take a look at everything. You have a little glove box there. Not enclosed, but that's cool. That they still had that back in the day. As you can see, you have all the gauges. They're kind of hard to read from this far away, and I can't really zoom in, but that's still cool. You also have those gas pedals. I don't know. I'm sure those are, because yeah, it's most likely. But anyways, let's get into the driver's side here. And let's take a look at the driver's perspective. So as you can see, yeah, those are gas pedals. Those are pretty big gas pedals and brake pedals. Well, it's a gas and brake pedal. Duh, not gas pedals or brake pedals. It's just singular, gas pedal and a brake pedal. As you can see, all the gauges, all the nice, I think that's mahogany. I could be wrong though. Let's just close the door. Let's start this thing up and see how it sounds. I'll be quiet while I do that. So as you can see, it sounds pretty nice. You can see how soft the suspension is. As this thing revs, you can see the whole car move side to side, which is pretty amazing. And anyways, let's get this thing out onto the road, and we will go to one of the player homes and upgrade this thing. So once I'm out on the road, I will cut to that part. Okay, so we're out on the road now with this Bentley. It's performing pretty nicely. I'm kind of surprised how well it handles for a car from this era. Sounds really nice too. There's a nice grumble to it. This thing's moving. This thing's really moving. Wow. This thing's very powerful though. You can definitely tell. Even though, what class is this? D181. It's still pretty powerful.
In 400 yards, turn left.
See if I can. Wow, I can just throw it through that corner and it actually goes. That's nice. Wow. Let's see how good the brakes are. Pretty good, actually. I wasn't expecting that. Let's see how it does on the uphill. Ooh, it's struggling a little bit.
Turn right.
This would have been the height of luxury back in the day.
In 400
Well,
yards. Turn
not as luxurious as a Rolls Royce, but still a Bentley. Bentleys are nice. They're meant to be luxurious, but also kind of sporty. And this thing definitely has both of those.
Turn left.
You can definitely tell it's a Bentley. Because when it wants to move, oh shoot. Well, there goes... What did that pot just do? It just flew. Definitely tell this thing's a Bentley. Like, if you just got into it without looking at the badges, you could definitely tell that this thing's a Bentley. Because it's not just luxurious, it can move. Like, move, except I crashed into...
Turn right.
This thing didn't even slow down when it hit that beetle, oh my gosh.
In
You can
100
tell that
yards.
this thing's heavy.
Turn right.
So it's not too good driving it around in Guanajuato, so...
Take the second exit.
I wouldn't say it's a
In
city
100
car,
yards.
but I'm also pushing it to its limits. So, at the same time, it would be better if you were following the speed limit. But I'm really pushing this thing to its limits. So, yeah.
In 400 yards. Turn right.
Wow, 75 miles per hour. Up, and there we go, crashing into another wall. Because this thing isn't meant to go this fast all the time.
Turn right.
Anyways, let's go this way. We're going to take it slow.
In 100 yards. Turn left.
This thing even has some wheel spin in certain situations. This thing's nice. I did build one into a race car though. Because why not? But now we are going to build this thing into a drift car. So that'll be an interesting experiment. And this is crazy drift builds that actually work. So I will be able to get this thing working as a drift car. I just might need to do some things differently. But I guess if we give it enough power, it should be able to be a drift car. I don't know if I'm going to make it all-wheel or rear-wheel. We'll see. I think this thing would be better as a slow drift car.
You have arrived.
But anyways, we are at the castle now. And it's actually perfect. I decided the castle because it's a Bentley. It's British. I know that this castle is British, but when most people think of the UK, they think of castles. So, anyways, let's put some drift tires on this thing. Make it easier to make it drift. We will put wider tires on the back. And we will push these out a little bit more. Like that. That works, okay. Then I'm going to leave the stock rims on because then it matches the tire that is on the fenders if there was a flat. So, anyways, you're going to go in. I'm not going to put any downforce on it because it just looks goofy, as you can see. We'll remove the rear bumper though. That's the one thing that we'll do. Then we'll put some better brakes on it, so we have more braking force. And we are going to put on drift springs and dampeners. We are also going to put on some sway bars, so we don't have as much sway when we're going around corners. Going to take lots of weight off of it, and we are also going to give it chassis reinforcements. So there we go. I did give it brakes. And now, we're going to leave it rear wheel drive. I'm going to put a, let's do race transmission. We don't need any more gears than it already has. And then we're going to put in a race diff. So there we go. And for the motor, we're going to choose something different. I think I'm going to put a V8 in it, because that sounds pretty nice. And then we are going to put a supercharger in it. And then we are going to upgrade the motor now. So we'll give it lots and lots of horsepower. Because why not? I know most people would say, oh, that's cheating, putting lots of power into a car to make it drift. But I'm like, I'm not really doing it like in a professional sense on Forza. I'm more of like doing it for fun. So I don't mind if I'm cheating a little bit. I don't usually use these cars in competitions. They're more for like on my free time. If I want to drift, I have these cars. So anyways, that is everything we've upgraded on this car, and let's see what it comes to. So we're gonna have 1,000 horsepower. We brought the weight from 5,600 pounds to 3,722 pounds. Our peak power was 220 horsepower. Now we have 1,000 horsepower. Our lateral Gs have went from 0.8 to 1.4, and our PI class went from 181 in D class to 714 in A class. So let's apply the upgrades. And I think I'm going to leave the paint stock. I'm just going to change the rim color. Okay, that works. Now it looks nice. I like it. Okay, so now that we're done upgrading this thing, we are going to tune it. So let's take the gearing, pull it back a little bit, like that. Tires, and raise the rear to 40 psi. Alignment, I'm going to pull this back a little bit to like that, and then we're going to take this, we're going to go to 1, then springs, that's good, dampening, that's good, aero, we don't have any, braking we'll put down to 80, and differential, we are going to go for acceleration 100%. We are going to do deceleration to 0. And just like that, we are done tuning. So I will see everyone in a minute once I'm at the drift mountain. Okay, so we are at the drift mountain now, and let's see how this thing performs. Seems pretty promising so far. Oh wow. Yeah, this thing's long wheelbase makes it a perfect drift car. Let's see if I can actually whip it around this corner. Ooh. Ah, we hit the guardrail there. Oh well. It's a bit wet now, so we'll have to be a bit careful. But other than that, this thing's a perfect drift car. I can't believe it. Wow. Well, I guess my hypothesis was correct. Well, it does have a long wheelbase, so anything with a long wheelbase can make a good drift car. Just need to know how to tune it and everything. Like, look at that, though. You can connect the corners really well with this thing. Like, I can be doing this, and then all of a sudden, like, connect it perfectly. I think this is the craziest drift car that I've ever built. But this thing is awesome. I would definitely drift this a lot. Like, it's good. Even though it's in A class, it's still really good at drifting. And it's rear wheel drive. Like, who could have guessed that this thing would be this good at this? Oop. Problem is that the driver this morning isn't really focused. So okay, let's see. Oh, too much. Okay. I may have given it a little bit too much gas there. But other than that, this thing's pretty good. I like it. This is my favorite part of the Drift Mountain. Is that little squiggly bit. It's really fun to do. This thing's perfect in 6th gear, which is its limit for the gearing. I might experiment with longer gearing, but for now this thing works well. I like it. It's fun to drive. As I said, you can connect corners together like that. And it's also relaxing to drift because you have more control. It's a slower drift car. Usually I make fast drift cars because I don't really like drifting slow, but this thing's perfect. It's just, for some reason, it's kind of peaceful to watch this thing drift, which makes sense. It's a luxury car. But it's just fun. I don't know. You can make any car into a drift car in Forza. That's the amazing part to me. Who knew that a Bentley that's this old would drift this good? But in Forza, that's a possibility. You can basically make anything a drift car. No matter how quirky it is, like this thing. I'm sure you could even do it with a POP50. Like, I was actually thinking about doing it at one point. Maybe that should be the next video that I do. Finish off the series for now. But after this series, because it's going to be the 10th episode in the next episode, I'm going to switch back to Minecraft after that. So there will be more Minecraft survival. But other than that, this is a fun series. I really like it so far. And I started it, I would say, over a year ago. And now, now that I've started it up again, it's quite cool. I really like it. It's a fun series to do. Because I get to experiment with these cars and see what cars work and what cars don't for drifting. But most of these have worked. Which is just amazing. But anyways, this is the end of the video. Hopefully everyone's enjoyed it so far. And don't forget to leave a like and subscribe if you've found this content interesting. So, anyways, bye for now, and I will see everyone in the next video. Okay, bye everyone.